ignition.
Aha! Hi, this is Joel Persinger. I'm the Gun Guy. Thank you very much for watching my videos. I really seriously appreciate it. I got a great rifle here for you today, but before I mention that, I wanted to also mention that you may be hearing some noise in the background right now. That's because I'm out in the shop and we have an air conditioner here that when we built this shop we put in, and it's 1,000,001 degrees out right now. So if you hear the AC running in the background, that's why, because under these hot lights I'd be melting without it. In any case, this rifle here is a Springfield Armory M1A, and it's the short version. They make a couple different short versions. I'm not an expert on Springfield M1As or M1As in general. So, you know, if I get something wrong, just use the comments and straighten me out, okay? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a gun collector and I'm not an expert on every gun that ever was built. So, you know, I can't, if you want somebody that is going to pretend they are what they aren't, you got to go someplace else. I'm just going to tell you that's not me. Now, in doing a little research though, I think this is the Scout Squad rifle because the SOCOM is a little shorter. And you know, a little shorter barrel, 16 inches instead of 18. And I haven't seen a SOCOM with a wooden stock, although they may exist. Most of them I've seen have the polymer stock, but this has the wood stock, and it looks like to me, as best I could measure it, an 18-inch barrel. So I think that's the Scout Squad. In any case, I got to tell you, of the ones he handed me to try, this was by far my favorite. Now he put a butt pad on it, slip-on butt pad on it. He's kind of a tall guy, a little bit of extra length to pull for him, I suspect. But I'm not so sure that the butt pad is particularly necessary where recoil is concerned. These Garand style actions tend to suck up a lot of recoil. Even my M1 really doesn't beat me up shooting 30-06 because it sucks up the recoil. I can shoot that rifle for hours and be very happy that I did it. And these I've shot before and they pretty much are the same. But if you're really tall like my son or this gentleman, having that little bit of extra length of pull makes the rifle more comfortable and makes your eye come up to the optic a little better. So I suspect that's probably why he has these on all of his rifles. When somebody lends me a rifle, I do not adjust anything. I don't adjust the sights, I don't change its configuration. It's on loan to me, and all I do is clean it up, make it clean. When I give it back, I want to make sure I give it back in at least as good a condition as I received it. And if I can in any way make it cleaner or something for somebody who hasn't cleaned their rifle in a while, I'll do that. But for example, with these, I don't take the action out of the wood to clean them. I don't do it with my Garand, and I'm not going to do it with his rifles. I'm going to clean it as best I can without doing that. So I'm not going to take the butt pad off or adjust anything. I shoot them as they are, just so that you know. Now, there's a bunch of positives about this rifle in this particular configuration of the M1A. First of all, if you're in a restrictive state like California, it may be possible that M1As and like rifles are completely legal in your state. Now, some states like New York and New Jersey, I suspect that that's not the case. But in California, these rifles are 100% legal here, provided they don't have a pistol grip, which this one doesn't. They don't have a collapsible, adjustable, or folding stock, which this one doesn't. And they don't have a flash hider. So this one doesn't have any of those things. It has a muzzle brake, not a flash hider, and it's completely legal in the state of California, which begs the question, exactly what do these goofy laws in California actually accomplish? Nothing. Do you suppose that you might be able to defend your family, property, whatever, with this rifle? Yeah, in spades, okay? Because the M14, which is what this is based upon, is a tried and true combat weapon. It's a tried and true battle rifle. It was used by the United States military, arguably for a short span of time because it you know, was replaced by the M16 for the most part. I think it's still in service in certain places. And it's heavy. It's much heavier than the M16. The ammunition is obviously much heavier, but it also hits like a train. Now, when I compare this rifle, this shorter version, the Scout Squad, to my Mini 14, you can see that the Scout Squad is not that much bigger. I mean, it's roughly the same size. Now, it's a little heavier, as I said, because the action is beefier. It's a 308 as opposed to a 5.56, and it hits like a train, and the ammo is heavier, and so on. But the difference in the weight between the two rifles as they're configured, both of them have a you know, decent-sized optic on it. Both of them have a rail system, and the whole thing is about a pound and a half. So this is going to be a pound and a half, pound and a quarter heavier. Well, in the scheme of things, unless you're marching a long distance, that's really not going to make a lot of difference as long as you can hold the rifle up to shoot it. I found that this rifle is every bit as handy and quick to the shoulder and handy and quick to target as my Mini 14 is, because it's roughly the same size. It's short and handy and easy to use. And honestly, I like this particular configuration of the M1A a lot as a result. Now, look, I'm a little biased here. The reason I want to tell you that is I'm a little biased because I really, really have an affinity for Garand style actions anyway. I prefer them personally over the ARs. I like ARs a lot, so it's not a good or bad situation. It's just personal preference. I grew up around World War II vets and hearing stories about M1 Garands and so on, and these are the kind of rifles I was exposed to. And so as a result, I like them. It's, like I said, it's not better or worse. It's just my personal preference is for these types of rifles. So I actually prefer my Mini 14 over my AR, as weird as that may sound to you. And so when I picked this up and shot it, I really, really liked it. Now, I tried and searched to see if I could figure out when it was made, but after about an hour and a half of searching on the web, I don't have the proper reference material for these rifles. I could not find anything that would tell me the serial number for what the age and year and manufacturer and so on this rifle is. So I finally just gave up on it and figured I'd just come shoot the video. It has a few things on it I really do like. I like the fact that it comes with a rail up front for a scout scope. Now, there isn't a scout scope on it, but that may be one of the reasons they call it the Scout Squad rifle, is it has that scout scope mount up here, which the standard M1A does not have. It has the full-size cover here. It does not have a scope on it. You'd have to add one later on. Obviously, he's put a pretty good sized Weaver optic on it. I think this thing is like 4:16 or something. I just shot it at the 4 power. But you'll notice as you look at the target that it shoots very well. Now, I got to apologize to you. I did not take a picture. I didn't realize it till I got back home. I did not take any images of the target at 100 yards with the group. I thought I had, and I didn't. And then I brought it back at 50 yards, and I shot it from the bench. I shot it offhand. And so you can see that at 50 yards, I had a really good group, because a lot of the shooting I did was standing up offhand. I did not shoot it prone. I was going to for the video. The reason I didn't is because the other day this last weekend, I had to cut down a tree, and I don't own a chainsaw, so I spent a couple of hours in the heat swinging an axe, which, I grew up swinging axes and picks and so on, so I know how to swing an axe, but I found out that at my age, I'm not 25 anymore, and my back was bugging me all weekend, so when I got to the range, I just didn't want to have to get down on the ground back up again, otherwise I'd have shot it prone for you. I can tell you, though, having shot these prone, they shoot very well. However, of the Garand style actions, the one I like to shoot prone the most is the M1 Garand, primarily because there's no magazine sticking out underneath it and I can get a little lower. But these shoot very well that way. So what you have here is a really handy, very accurate, extremely effective defensive rifle. I mean, that's exactly what it is, and it's California legal. I told you I'm going to go over these California legal rifles to give you as many options as I can. This rifle shoots astoundingly well. It is incredibly comfortable to shoot. It's very, very accurate for a short little carbine size 308. I found it to be extremely so. You could put any kind of optic on it you want it. You could put a scout scope on the front. You can put a big heavy optic like the one that's on it. You could just put a red dot up on the front or some sort of hollow sight, whatever you wanted to do with it, and it would serve you very, very well. And one of the things I do like about the 308 as opposed to the 5.56, even though it's heavier, is that for my purposes, I'm not going to be hiking long distances with it. So I'm not a soldier, I'm not a Marine, I'm not a, in the Army, which is what they call, that's the Navy Army now. They have a lot of people on the ground that used to be Navy, now they're Army, I guess you could call them. I'm not one of those guys going to be lugging a rifle long distances. I don't even lug myself long distances unless I'm hunting or hiking or something. This is going to be something, if I had it, that I would have to protect my family close to home. So the heaviness of the rifle, that's just slightly heavier, and the heaviness of the ammunition is not a deterrent for me. What really is additive for me is the fact that the penetration is there in case I'm having to deal with a situation like, my goodness, we have a hurricane that just struck Texas, and could be an earthquake or something in my area, where somebody is hiding behind a piece of cover that 5.56 or 2.23 simply will not penetrate, but the 308 will turn that cover into concealment. And so that extra penetration sometimes is very valuable. Sometimes it can be a detriment, but sometimes it's very valuable. Now, these things are also extremely pricey, okay? So if you're going to buy one, hold on to your wallet. But I will tell you that I think in every way, they are worth every dime. So you might want to check out the Springfield M1A. This is, as I said, the Scout Squad rifle, which is the shorter version. It is my favorite of the bunch, given that I live in sort of a suburban area. You might want one of the longer barrel if you want to shoot longer, and I'm going to review one of those from Springfield and one of those from Arms Corps, and those videos are coming up soon. Thank you again very much for watching. Have a great week. Please support the channel. Check us out on Patreon if you wouldn't mind. You can help us out for as little as $1 a month and get all kinds of neat premium content you can't see here. You can help us out by using the GunGuyTV store. There's links in the description for both of those. You can shop Amazon through our link. Everything is the same for you. It doesn't cost you a dime more, but it benefits us. You can sign up for Second Call Defense. That's the defense company I use to help me if I ever shoot somebody in self-defense. They're going to come to my aid legally with a lot of money to pay for attorneys and bail bondsmen and clean up my house and so on. Great company. I've supported them for a long time, and now we have an affiliate relationship with them. So if you're looking for concealed carry type insurance or self-defense insurance with firearms, I urge you to check out Second Call Defense. If you were to sign up with them, it helps you and it helps GunGuyTV. Check that out in the description. Again, thank you very much for watching. Have a great week, and please be safe.